What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, CEO coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are here for the NCP Season 5 Week 3 battle when I go up against OliviaSama and her team be the New Orleans Saints. Now, her roster you can see above my facecam. Now we're gonna be going very briefly my team of 6 that I'm bringing for this game, which I will say right now, this is not gonna be confirmed or not. But as I'm recording this, I have already told the commissioner of the league, Grandmaster DeRay, that I have a thing at my work, because I work in a restaurant business, that tomorrow I'm gonna be having a big meeting as I'm recording this. When it comes to my work schedule going ahead, and there might be a case that I'm gonna be taking a lot more shifts because others are gonna be laid out, and since I'm one of the older workers, I might have to do a little bit more shifts, or quite a lot more shifts. So that may or may not mean that this is going to be my last game for now for the NCP and the last game for the AP Academy as well, if I get to play my Week 3 battle. But I will make an update on that going forward if it comes down to that. But I wanted to make sure that even before this result will be known for me, for you, for anyone else, everyone knows why I would be leaving a league. It's not because I don't like my draft, it's not because I'm not performing very well. I'm in a very tough position regards to my schedule going ahead of time, and I have to really adjust myself when it comes to what do I need to prioritize, what league I can maybe keep myself in regards to YouTube and Wi-Fi, and go from there, because I need to make sure that I can actually carry that workload going ahead. Like, I cannot be spending 24/7 basically besides sleeping, either working or prepping and playing basically like my draft league games. Like, that's not good for my long-term health in itself. So I have to look after myself and try to be a little selfish. But that's all now to decide. Let's just go to the team of 6 that I'm bringing versus OliviaSama. We are starting this with a very bulky special defensive assault vest Tornadoes there, which is there to be able to check Dragapult, which I expected to be special versus my roster, and also Venusaur if it's like under the sun and it gets +2, because after rocks I will leave a sludge bomb for my modest life orb. Venusaur, as long as I'm at full health after coming in on stealth rocks for example, and I have my assault vest intact, I can also take on the hits from Dragapult very well. So I figured that this very bulky Tornadoes will do well. This means that I don't actually have speed investment to outspeed Terrakion and Therion, which will mean that I will be dying to them if I stay in. But I don't have the offensive output or the coverage that I'm running this week to really hit them hard regardless. So I don't really foresee it being that important compared to what I really need it there to be, which is being a check for that Dragapult and Venusaur, especially the Dragapult, because I don't really have a good answer to Ghost and Dragger that has access to 5 coverage versus my roster, and she even has a Sun option as well to boost up that. So I have to kind of take this kind of approach and have something in the back that I always don't lose a mon to it every single time it comes in. If it's physical, well, that's as much as I can do about versus a mon that can be considered broken in draft league format. But the next member of the team is going to be making its debut for us in this season, which is going to be Mienshao, which is the one that I've been really wanting to use from this draft the most, if I'm being honest. And this will be the first week for me to use it. Maybe the last one, what I spoke earlier about. But we're going to be running it live up this week with Close Combat, Knockoff, Rock Slide and U-Turn. This is there to be able to hit everything really hard except the Clefairy, but I can knock it off. It's Eviolite. I have other things that can take advantage of it if I see it coming in this game. But there's a good chance it might not come, and I wanted to have Rock Slide to hit the Thunderous Terran, and after very minor chip, or even at full health, I can pretty much kill it with Rock Slide. It's a 50% chance of roll if she makes a proper speed creep herself. Then I have chance to flinch, but after like any prior damage I already kill it, either with a U-turn for my other things, so just any kind of prior damage will be enough for Rock Slide to kill it. So that's going to be the Mienshao. Then we have a Tanga Berry physical defensive Slowbro to help dealing with the Terrakion as best as it can, with Scald, Toxic, Slack Off and Teleport. Toxic is there so that I have something to status the Mandibus with. I have some offense that can 2-hit KO it. But I don't have an electric type on my team. My fairy type is Whimsicott, so it's not that strong. So I kinda lack, and I don't have an ice type. So I kinda lack immediate way to break that thing. So I have to have Toxic on Slowbro if it happens to come in on me to be able to wear it down from there. It also hits the counterpart of Slowbro being the Slowking as well if I need to get that thing status. And overall, other than that, Scald is pretty nice to be able to burn things and hit the Terrakion what's in front of me. Granted, if the sun is up, it's gonna be annoying, but it should be good enough as long as I have a Scarfer to revenge skill it, which you're gonna be seeing that I do bring Scarfer for this game, which is going to be my Hydreigon. But before we talk about that, we are bringing a mixed defensive, more so physically defensive, but it has Assault Vest on it, being our Galarian Slowking with Sludge Bomb, Psychic, Flamethrower and Ice Beam. This is a pretty perfect coverage versus her roster. I think the only thing that I don't hit super effectively with this would be Torkoal and the Piloswine. Those two I don't hit super effectively, but I still have a Stab Psychic to hit them. And they don't have a reliable recovery of their own unless they run rest, but I don't expect her to have those. So we should be in a good share with that, and we can pretty much take any hit. This is also nice there for the Thunderous Therian. While I do bring my Nidoking as one of my last two members, he's not dedicated to switching on it, and this thing ideally would be doing that. He can help versus the Venus, so depending on what move it's locked into Terrakion, I can help with dealing with this thing. So it's just a nice solid Mon. Regenerator is pretty broken ability. I'm bringing all four of them for this game, which you probably noticed by now. And then we're gonna be having that Choice Scarf Modest Hydreigon with the Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse, Flash Gun and a U-turn. Not too much to say about that. It's there for some speed control just over the Thunderous and Terrakion because the Tornadus is not out pacing them. And unless the Dragapult has Dragon Dance up, or it's a Choice Scarfer of its own, or the Terrakion or Thunderous would be scarfed themselves, or like boosting it their speed in itself, this can't be the fastest one in the game. Which I figured it's pretty likely and obvious, but I figured that it's still good to bring regardless. Like I could have done something else with it, like Dragon Dance, but he has an Ice Shot priority in Piloswine. And I need to find my opportunity set up, which could be very hard versus her roster, because yeah, she has a lot of good offensive mons. So they're gonna be hitting me hard regardless if I try to disrespect them and try to set up with them with my Hydra. So I figured this would be the best one to go, and while it's obvious, it's still strong bring for my behalf at least. With the time I was able to use to prepare for this battle. And then we have our Life Orb physical Nidoking with Earthquake, Poison Jab, Thunder Punch and Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is there just to be able to hit the weakened Dragapult. If I have any prior damage off on it, we can pick it off from there unless it's Cobo Berry or Substitute on it. Or we get Will-O-Wisp by it. We have Earthquake as our main, like a ground stab on it. We have Poison Jab. Then we have Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is there to be able to cover both the Slowking and the Mandibus. The Thunderous will be immune to that, but I still have Poison Jab to hit it really hard, and I don't expect to switch in on me necessarily. It can take me out with a Psychic if he's boosting item, and from there, but other than that, like, I think the Thunder Punch over Ice Punch is better coverage, and I want to have the priority option if it comes down to it. And if something like Venusaur is very low health, and it doesn't have any non-status move and has only attacking moves left, I can maybe pick it out with a Sucker Punch after Tornadus is hitting it hard with a Heat Wave, leave it in a very low health. So I figured the priority is nice to have in the back just in case from Nidoking in itself, besides my Choice Scarfer. So that's gonna be the team of 6, and now let's go and see how this battle is turning out. Here we are with the battle with the OliviaSama. Let's see how this is gonna be going. Like I said at the intro, if you skipped it, actually, for some of you, this may or may not be my last game of this season in the NCP due to my work situation, but I'm not saying if it's gonna be guaranteed or not. That I will make an update video separately if it comes down to it, but let's not worry about that. Let's just jump into this battle and have some fun with Mons. Hope it's gonna be a good game between us two, and she has a scary roster to go up against. I would expect to see for sure the Dragapult, especially defensive Mandibus. Thunderous Therian I think will come. Slowking would make sense. Then it's either the Suncore, She could mix it up and bring the Pilus one over something else. Like over the Suncor. But let's see. Okay, she does bring the Clefairy. But that's okay by me, because I still have the... Yeah, I still have the... What you call it? Okay, so I don't see the Suncor, I don't see the Pilus one either. So her rocker would be probably the Clefairy, because that thing's move set is kinda limited in some regards that it wants to do. I could straight lead off with my... I think I'll lead with my Mienshao like I ordinary planned to, even though the team of 6 is a little bit different what I thought would be. But like the Clefairy, once I knock it off, it will be less of an issue. But I would have to keep my poison types around to be able to kill it, so it will be a little bit annoying in that regard. But I do also have Flash Cannon on Hydreigon, so... should be decent enough for us. But let's see how this is gonna be going. I have to watch out for a potential Scarfer now, either the Dragapult or Thunderous, because she doesn't have the Suncor, which could have been a one form of speed control. But let's see. I don't recognize the nickname, but it's going to be the Thunderous, okay. She leads out with the big threat. Now I don't know if she is Scarf or not. I don't know that for sure, but I will think that it will not be that. So part of me just wants to U-turn to get the... Well then, maybe I should scout this. I'll scout this and go into Slowking. There's no reason not to scout first to see what this thing is. But if she doesn't stay, if she does like hot swap for example, then we can see that if she is Scarf or not. I do swap at least first if she hot swaps herself. She does go for the Psychic, so I'm glad that I at least stayed in for now. That did a lot of damage, but that was a critical hit. So I'm glad that I scout this one out. Now, as for your switchings, I could just go for the Sludge Bomb for now. Or I could go for the Ice Beam. Let's go for the Ice Beam. It hits what is in front of me if it's knockoff. Okay, she's not choiced with it, that's good to know. Next time around I'm free to U-turn on that thing. Okay, but that's good to know. Psychic and Volt Switch. That is the Mandibas. Now I get to see if you're specially defensive or physically defensive. Let's see what kind of damage we do. We do about 25 or 26% to her. Mandibas, specially defensive. And my Slowking. Yeah, that's specially defensive variant. Now because there isn't a Terrakion actually, I can go into my Slowbro to allow her to knock off my Tangaberry. I'm pretty sure I need to... Hopefully I didn't forget that, but I'm pretty sure this would be the case. But either way, I guess want to get anything else knocked off. Yeah, she didn't bring the Terrakion, so this was actually fine. I'm glad that my memory served me right there. So I didn't mess around with that. She could worry about a Toxic. And go into something like Clefairy. So I think I'll teleport to see if she scouts that or not. She has a Toxic of her own. That's... I guess a little annoying, but at the same time I don't mind it too much. Next time around I know that she doesn't worry about this thing being toxic. But I can go into Nidoking from here. And do big chunk with a Thunder Punch, and she doesn't switch into this thing at all. And if she lets this thing get weakened and then I get to weaken the Clefairy with knockoff, then the Hydreigon late game is open up. But I'll Thunder Punch here. She didn't bring the Pilus one, so the only immunity she would have would be the The only immunity she would have would be the Thunderous, but I could also go for Ice move easily at this point, so I think because she doesn't know my coverage yet, it's tough for her to make a pivot around this. She has Knockoff, she has Toxic. She does stay in, this should do a lot of damage to her, yeah. She does get rid of my life orb, which is going to be annoying, it's gonna weaken me later on. But that's fine by me. Now I'll just go for the Poison Jab, which will be covering a potential swap into the Thunderous. But weakening this to this low means that it's basically a sack right now. Which was something I wanted to see happen. Because now I can see, like, as long as the Dragapult is not Scarf or has a Dragon Dance up, I'm very much working myself into a Hydreigon late game. I just need to know the Dragapult set now. And knock off the Eviolite on Clefairy, but those are still workable things. And I have my dual poison types being brought. This thing is knocked off, but like, if I force the Clefairy to get its Eviolite off, I will for sure then kill it off one way or another. But I do get to kill off the Mandibuzz, which is great for me. So we open the door for my Hydreigon. This also means that she lost one of her best ways to pivot around my Galarian Slowking. That thing will be annoying for her as well to deal with right now. Especially not also having Pilot Swine around. So having that Mandibuzz gone is great. It's unfortunate that I lost my Life Orb on this thing in the progress, but I'll definitely take it. Here comes the Thunderous. I will make the same play as last time and go into my Slowking. It's dedicated to take this thing on. Let's see what she does. She does go for the Psychic, straight out. She's just doing what she can the most at this point. And now, this time around I could go for the Flamethrower. Do I? Because the Metagross could come in. But I could also just respect this thing again. I'll click the Flamethrower. That's the first initial thought. I'll do that again. Yeah, she Volt Switches around. I will be able to gain this region again relatively well. Like this time around I'm a little bit low only because the crit happened on the very first hit she got off. But if I get the damage on the Metagross it would be really good. Nico. Okay, that's less nice for me. So Sludge Bombing next time around would be better. She's leftovers on it. Alright. I will just straight out gain my regen here and pivot into my Slowbro. She could go for the slow teleport which puts me in a Volt turn cycle, but I just need my Slowking back into good amount of health and I cannot let it to take too much damage. She does go for the teleport. Now this is gonna lure in either the Thunderous or the Dragapult. If she goes into the Dragapult and goes for like a Shadow Ball, which I think is pretty tempting for her to do. Okay, she is still sticking with the game plan of that should be still fine for me, unless she reveals Dark Pulse. But I go into this Slowking. I can pivot into my Hydreigon at some point too, but for now I'll utilize still my Slowking for this. Because if she pulls off a Thunderbolt and paralyzes Hydreigon, that's the worst case scenario. There's the Thunderbolt. And I could hard into my Nidoking. Let's play a little bit of mind games with her. Here's the reason why. I'm gonna pivot into my Hydreigon to U-turn. Yep. And now we go into the Hydra to U-turn. Because I want the U-turn chip on this thing. It's not just only to flex, but I want that little damage so my Mienshao can revenge kill this thing. I need it just a little bit chipped. She does go for the Psychic. There we go. And this is where I'm gonna U-turn. But again, this is more so that I can either get the chip on this thing, which means that Mienshao is in a better shape to revenge kill this thing, or my Hydreigon can kill it with a Draco afterwards in a late game. She does stay in. And now I go into my Slowking to see if you Volt Switch. Or will you have Focus Blast to hit my Hydreigon? It will make sense to her to have a focus, like fighting coverage to hit the Hydreigon. Yep. She does miss that, but that's fine by me. Now I will Sludge Bomb. She does Volt Switch. But I'm able to gain that a little bit of health back, like from having to swap out back and forth before. This is mainly what I just wanted to see. There's the Slowking. I get to see how much I do to you. If I can snag a poison, that means that, sure, I don't get to Toxic you later on, but I'm still in a better shape. That did around 25% to this thing. Slowking versus my own Slowking. That could be like mixed defensive still. I'll Sludge Bomb again if I get to gain some damage off on it. And I don't want to necessarily teleport with this yet. Or like hard swap myself and give her the teleport from there. At least have just a little bit of chip on that thing, but it's good to know that it's leftovers. So that my Mienshao's knockoff, if she tries to pivot on that, will be doing a lot of damage to it. Okay. There comes the Metagross. This could be her rocker. Which is going to make the pivoting game a little bit more annoying. But I still feel like the Clefairy will be the one, but either way I don't think it's my best interest to stay in here. She does just go for the Meteor Mash. And here I think I'm fine just Scalding. Or do I want to teleport here? I think I'll teleport. I don't think she will stay, and if she does, she will go for rocks, I guess. Okay. She does go for the rocks. So now the pivoting game becomes a little bit more annoying to deal with, but I haven't taken my opportunity to damage her too much. Which is the unfortunate case. I could go into my Nidoking, but I won't be able to take her out. Let me think of this Metagross. If the Metagross is like max HP, who is my best bet to killing this? Mienshao could only U-turn on this. Polvo Berry would mean that. Earthquake can almost kill it, but I think that's too immature to go into Nidoking just yet. I think it's better to go into this, and then I U-turn. This is probably gonna be Polvo Berry, which I have to watch out for. That's why I don't wanna go into Hydreigon just yet. Let's get off that little bit of chip. That did almost 20% to her. And now I go into my Slowbro. And then I'm pretty much just gonna Scald at this point. I think I'm better off doing that. As she does go for the Meteor Mash again. That was a critical hit, unfortunate. And she gets the boost. Alright. Okay, that's annoying if she has a Thunder Punch on this. Yeah, I don't actually, now thinking about it, if she does have that, then she's at +1. Thunder Punch on my slow pro. It would do 116 at most. It could kill me here. I don't think I have auto play though. I might have to stay, because I could go into Nidoking. Okay, she does go for the Earthquake. I'm kinda glad I didn't go into Nidoking now. That would have been really bad for me. Hopefully I get like a Scald Burn here, kinda make up for that previous turn. I don't get that. Do I need slow pro for anything else? Not necessary. I think I'm better off letting this thing go down. She does go for another Medium Mash, knowing that it will kill. And covers the Tornado Swap. And now that you're at this point of health, does Knockoff kill you if you're Combo Berry? It won't, but Close Combat would. I think I'll go into my Mienshao and just Close Combat this. And it would be, like, I feel like she would be good off just letting this thing go down and hoping that I go for Knockoff instead. She has Bullet Punch on it. Please don't do a lot. Okay, thank God. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I still have my regen and I can still gain this health back. Even with the Life Fall, but that Metagross did way too much work than it needed to. But the Metagross is gone, the Mandibuzz is gone, and so is my Slowbro. The only thing that I really need to now accomplish is still that I need to get rid of the Clefairy's Eviolite. There comes the Dragapult. Now with the rocks being up, this is gonna get a little bit annoying, but this is why I made this thing fully specially defensive with Assault Vest. So I can tank these hits. But now we have to wait and see how much it's gonna be doing. I'll open up the Calcs for Dragapult, if it specs or not. And now I'll keep my eye on the screen to see that. What move does she click? Either way, I'm always forced out at this point. Here comes Timmy. Come on, Timmy. You have one job here. There's the Shadow Ball. 139. That doesn't look super offensive. That doesn't at least look to be. Okay, this could be still Scarf or something else. My best bet is to knock off here. Dragon Dance, that's what I was worried about if she's mixed. Please survive. Yeah, this is the worst case scenario. I cannot beat this kind of Dragapult with my team. She knows I'm Scarf, but I have to go into it. Yeah. This is just a good example why this mon is kinda broken Draft League. Like, you're really in a tough spot trying to deal with it. And it's right sets, cause there's so many sets you can only prepare for. But here, I think the play that I have to make to come back in this game, I think, is the U-turn. I don't think she has any business staying in. Unless she is a Reducing Berry. That's really bad for me again. Who do I even go into at this point? I think it has to be Nidoking. She has to be a Reducing Berry, but that's really risky because my dual stab can kill you. Shadow Ball. Do I live this? I do, thankfully. So now if she is a reducing berry, I will at least pop that. To either way be in a range. She does withdraw, she saw the sucker punch coming. Nico, which will be this. She's playing this role, but I'm in a tough spot already. I've not gotten these calls right at all. She's pretty free to scald here, I guess. And then to teleport out. But based on that, she is Cloverberry, I think. That's the information I can get out of this. I'll Thunder Punch to get some damage off on this thing. Yeah, there comes the Scald. And now I'll just go into Mian Shao to force a kill. I'll just do that now. But I don't see really out from this anymore, I'm being completely honest. The Dragapult said what it is, and being mixed means that I cannot get around it. So it's unfortunate if this is gonna be our last game, because I was hoping that I can still at least get a win for myself. And kinda leave myself in a position that if I have to leave the league, I'm leaving in a good spot for someone else to take over. Or if I happen to stay, then selflessly, obviously, I'm in a better shape of myself. I'm gonna U-turn here. We'll take the Life Orb recall. If she clicks Terrapult, she can basically claim a kill pretty easily with Dragapult. But then again, I'm Assault Vest, I can take a hit from it and do big damage to back to it. She does bottom pass. But who do you go into to force a kill? Because I am Assault Vest, you would have to be also now physical as well with the other guy. No, you just go into this. I guess I'll slot spawn to make sure that if this low king pivots in, it's gonna be taking more damage. That would be a pivot into this, right? Nico, which is this low king. And I'm just not getting any luck in my favor. I'm gonna slot spawn again cause I cannot get myself out of this position necessarily. I'm just Mora, I know this could be our last game, but come on, we can at least try. We can at least try if this would be our last game in the league. And get that poison. And there comes the Thunderous again, and there's like not a whole lot I can do about this because the Nidoking is dead. I guess I can go into the Hydra to take this Volt Switch. Because this thing is by far my best Mon versus her right now. So I'll just do that. It's unfortunate that I have to take Rocks plus Volt Switch, but it shouldn't. She does go for the Thunderbolt, okay. That's the whole game, ladies and gentlemen. That is the whole game. I'll drop a Draco off the chance she misses. Okay. We get a kill at least. My only way out of this, honestly, is just Slowking be able to clutch this game again like last game. I don't see any other way out. But at least we got another kill. And there comes the Dragapult, which is gonna be clicking Dragon Darts easily. So before I sack this thing down... Yeah, I would have to go into Slowking. That's gonna be really unfortunate. I really wanted to be able to win this game, like even though I didn't have much prepared, I really wanted to get this win, like either, like I said, for myself, or if I'm in a position tomorrow, if I do get a lot of work shifts under my belt, that I'm not leaving the team in bad shape, because I do like the roster. It feels bad to even leave this like it is, if I have to. Like, this is just not it. I guess I Ice Beam here, off the chance she stays in. No. The Ice Beam, like, freeze, if I would get that, would only mean that I would force her to Scald. Can I really utilize... I shouldn't utilize my Mienshao now, right? Because she could easily go for, like, Psychic. Let me go for Sludge Bomb. Can we get one poison here? Give us one poison, please. Thunder Wave. Okay. Okay. That could mean that it's Hex Dragapult still. So I think it's my better interest knowing that, because now that means that my Slowking can still live a hit from that thing. I think it's better off to let this thing to be paralyzed. Slack off. Okay. Let me knock off the crap out of you. Please do a lot. Okay, that left it very low health. Slack offs again. U-turn should do more here. After this turn. But I think I'm always better shape to just keep knocking off. Or am I? Let me go for knock off. It's not too much damage output difference. She does withdraw. And at this point, I wonder if close combat would kill. I think I'll U-turn. I'm not sure if close combat would have killed, maybe I should have taken time on that, but at the same time I managed to be able to get this thing healthy, because this is my Mienshao is my best way to actually kill that Slowking. So if it does manage to get itself healthy, I need to... Okay, bottom pass. Okay. I'm not sure if swapping back and forth will help me a lot now thinking about it. But I might have to go for it. I have to try to get the Slowking in a point that it can finish off this opposing Slowking. If I happen to dodge another Thunder Wave, that would be lovely. But let's see. Scald, please don't kill. Okay, we live. I'm not getting anything in my way. I am not getting anything in my way. That's just horrendous. But yeah. I feel bad for somebody who has to take over this team if I do have to step down. I really do feel bad regards to cost. I think I had a shot in this game. I definitely feel like I had a shot winning this game, but just things just aren't falling in place for me at all. Could I have done a couple of plays different? Sure. Around the meta cross, but at the same time, that crit +1 just really, like, it made this low pro not to be able to pivot around anymore. In a hindsight, if I would have been able to toxic this thing, would have been nice. But we are not getting anything today. This day has been rough, man. This day has been rough, not because of this game. Obviously it bothers and everyone can see it, but I already got that message out of my boss warning me about, like, tomorrow we have to have a meeting with co-workers about these ships, and be aware that you might get a lot of ships now in your hands, cause I'm one of the only people who can do every single shift in that workplace, cause there's been a lot of workers have come and gone this past year because of the situation that we have been. So the workers that we have available besides myself to that place are relatively new, so they can do only like either opening or closing shift or a middle shift. Besides my boss, I'm the only one who can do all of those 3 shifts. So I will be needed a lot more at this point, which is nice for when it comes to money. But it's gonna be training. It's gonna be training, and there's always the worry back in your mind. Oh, now I get the voice. Doesn't matter. There's always a worry that when I go into that work, yes, it's gonna help me for example, for the rest of the month or certain period of time. But there's always a chance that, well, the restaurant will be closed completely for X amount of time, and then I don't have any shifts after that. So it's a very, very tough place that I am right now. I have to commit to the work instead, and I have to make sure that I can go through those if they come into the place like that I will end up having those shifts. And I cannot like outwork myself and like try to do 8 or 9 hours a day, almost like 5 days a week at very least, probably more even than that, depending on how things go. And then I would have to come home. I have to prepare for these games that I'm not taking lightly. I don't want to take them lightly at all. Like when I say I fast build, it's still more time than most people might put a time into it. Not saying like my opponent, like I'm sure people in the NCP do take their chilitons, they have their front offices, but like in a general sense I still take good amount of time and thinking on this, and they train me quite a bit because I do want to do well. I don't want to have fast things if I can help myself. But either way, good game to OliviaSama. She will be moving on from this, I believe, 2-1 and +2. I'm gonna be sitting at 1-2 -7. Or whoever has to take over the team is gonna be in the same spot. Either way, if there's not gonna be a battle next week regards to the NCP, I'm sure I will do an update video which is gonna be related to this. And I'm pretty confident I have to also drop off from the AP Academy if things fall in place like I fear they do. The UBL, I will try my absolute hardest to stick in that league, because that's my pride and joy when it comes to the fact that I've been around that league the most out of any of the other leagues. Like, I love NCP, there's been a great opportunity to be part of, considering the lineup, the people who are in, I respect a lot of them, and I was really grateful to have this opportunity. When it comes to the AP Academy, it's more so like a side league, it's not super serious, but I still would want to do well if I commit to that thing, so it still would take time if I stick around there. And it's a low tier format as well. So in that regard, those are probably the two that I have to leave myself from. And then I just hope and I'll try my best to stick with the UBL. And when it comes to the showdown leagues, thankfully it's a little bit quieter right now as it is, so it's gonna get quiet when it comes to my showdown commitments. So either way, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna talk about more deeply about this on the update video if and probably when it's gonna come out. Thank you for watching, stay tuned for the upcoming content. I won't leave the YouTube as a whole. Regardless what happens, I will stick around and keep a league or two around. Most likely at least one at this point. That I can promise one of these leagues will at least remain alive, that I'll stick through the end. But thank you for watching, make sure to check out OliviaSama's side, and I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.